on your show.
I said whites are being replaced?
You have said that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I would challenge you to cite that, because I'm pretty sure I haven't said that.
Welcome back to Moose on the Loose. My name's David, and today we've got Justin Trudeau getting heckled by a group of Palestinian protesters mixed with Canadian protesters. He gets tracked down by these people. They block off the road so he can't leave. This is wild. We've also got a clip of Tucker Carlson absolutely destroying the woke left. There's a woke liberal reporter who asks the dumbest questions, and Tucker very politely absolutely destroys her, as well as some other clips. So let's jump into this. So you do have a mix here of Palestinian and Canadian protesters. This is getting nutty. They're basically, yeah, they're chanting, Justin Trudeau, you can't hide, we're charging you with genocide. It's like...
Justice is coming for you, Justin. Justice is coming for you.
All these are taking place in Brampton, Ontario.
You traitor. Hey, Justin, you traitor. You traitor, Justin. Traitor, Justin. Hey, you traitor. You traitor, Justin. Justin, nobody likes you. The country's on fire, Justin. The country's on fire because of you, Justin. Where are you, Justin? Where are you, you traitor? Where are you?
Yeah, so some of these are overlapping. These are all coming from different phones, I think.
Time is running out, Justin. Freedom! Freedom!
How many other pedophiles in a whole police service to protect them going dinner?
I can't repeat what that guy just said.
Well, they're going to have a hell of a time getting him out. So, because they blocked that entrance, it's going to be a hell of a time. They're going to try to get out from under here. Yeah.
Jumping over to the next clip here, this is where they block the front of the motorcade. Still a mixture of Canadian and Palestinian protesters. You can see the F Trudeau flag here. I've never seen a Palestinian hold that flag, so... There's that guy with the megaphone, the Palestinian guy who was chanting earlier, blocking the front. I'm surprised this cop doesn't just full-on Goldberg him and just take him right out. I'm wondering if people have really amped things up after what happened in Toronto St. Paul's. They want to push to get him to step down. It's not going to work. Trudeau's too much of a narcissist. It has to be wearing on the guy, though. I mean, there's literally people everywhere heckling the heck out of him. So let's see what the people have to say. This is ridiculous. Who needs that much security? Seriously, what a total waste of taxpayer money. I've never seen a prime minister who needed this much security. This is very telling in my opinion. Yeah. Next up, this clip here, we've got a couple of guys who go to the University of Toronto. This guy's a PhD student who's filming this. They're basically setting up their own protest outside the Palestinians barricade here. The police come with some trespassing orders, but spoiler, it's not for the Palestinians, it's for the Canadians.
You call Toronto Police and have 52 cars attend. We're having an issue here on the South Lawn. We have trespassers that are refusing to leave.
I'm a student.
You're trespassing.
Well, they are trespassing? No. The QP said, no.
Staff sergeant as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Well, you guys need to get re-educated.
You'll bend over for the money, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, you know the pain of it. Yeah. Oh, you know, this is...
I'm a student.
So it is unfortunate.
He's not a student.
I'm a student. I'll show you my student ID. Yeah, but I'm not giving it out of my hands. You can look at it from a distance.
Conversation. We should be open to have a conversation.
This is a U of T student. I'm a PhD student. I'm here. I belong. And I will, this is
we'll
my...
have this conversation the other side of the fence.
When I'm done.
You're not
This is
setting up in
protected.
here
This,
right now.
we're already here.
No,
But
you're
gonna
not already here. You're not setting up in here.
So if these guys have their encampment, and as a student, I have every right, because we're protected by Cpac, we're protected by Fred Hahn, we're protected by Amnesty International, we're protected. So every right that you have, we have the same rights. For every right that Cpac defends, for every Ontario federal, I love it. Let's do it. Two-camp solution, my friend. Peaceful protest to the end.
Even the fucking camp, you want to steal it, you idiot, bro?
No, I'm not stealing your things.
What are your demands?
Stay here.
What are your demands of the encampment?
We're just divest, disclose.
Divest the what?
Sir, that's my property. Please give me that back. I have my medical, my medicine is in there. Don't touch it. It's my medicine. Let me take that stuff out. My things are in there.
You can have it.
You guys get this. How do you make this work? Can everyone hear? How do you turn it on? Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, encampment for them, but not for us.
This is corrupt. What is this police officer doing? He just paid off Trudeau lackey? This is ridiculous. They've built Fort Knox here. These guys can't have their own protest, setting up a few tents? Trespassing? This is a joke. It's time to make this piece of garbage famous.
Trespassing?
This police officer needs to be chucked out the door. Special constable, take a hike, buddy. Loser. Absolute loser. Traitor to Canada. And along the same lines of both those videos of the protests, we've got this, as posted by Ryan Garrettson. It says, in Trudeau's Canada, if you decide to peacefully protest against him and his government, and even leave the protest, they will use surveillance to identify you later, and it could result in financial sanctions and criminal charges. Never forget what they're capable of. Yeah, this is some draconian stuff.
If the protesters at this point retreat and go home, are they going to be getting sort of repercussions down the road? Or are you going to be sort of actively pursuing the people that you've been sort of documenting and filming who are still out there protesting? What are your plans after this, after the protest is over?
Thank you. It's a great question. And the simple answer is yes. If you are involved in this protest, we will actively look to identify you and follow up with financial sanctions and criminal charges. Absolutely. This investigation will go on for months to come.
So he says this protest, I don't know what specific protest, it probably refers to any protest, I'm guessing. These guys are all a bunch of clowns. They're all helping take away democracy and freedom. The problem is, if you keep pushing, guys, there's 40 million of us. Even if 6 or 7 million people are stupid and still think the Liberals are the greatest thing since sliced bread, there's 30 million people that won't be happy. Stop pushing the limits of freedom here, because it's already out the door. You guys are stomping on freedom right now, and it's almost gone. You can't stop 30 million people if Canadians decide to revolt. And right now, Canadians are just holding on for Pierre Poilievre to come in and fix things. But if you guys keep pushing this draconian crap, I have a feeling, read the comments, you're gonna see millions of people show up, and there's not a damn thing you can do. Yeah, this little Trudeau RCMP lapdog. We could have another convoy, just everyone pretend to be Muslim. You'd be able to stay in Ottawa forever. The RCMP needs to be held accountable for their treason. Every single comrade treason. Yeah, this is very true. Next up, we got this here posted by Stephen Taylor. It says, in a private conversation publicly overheard, Stephen Guilbeault said that Chrystia Freeland could be the next prime minister when Justin Trudeau steps down. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm reading this tweet. What do you guys think about that? Freeland is a mess. I mean, we've got a finance minister who doesn't know anything about finance. She doesn't know anything about banking. I used to run my ex-wife's notary office. I used to balance the budget about $10 to $12 million in and out every month. I bet you I have more knowledge of doing that job than her, and I have no business doing that job. The fact we've got our reporter as a finance minister becoming prime minister, all you can do is laugh, then cry. That will bury the Liberals forever. Do it. God help us. I don't think Canada is going to be allowing Chrystia Freeland to do anything at all. She's responsible for bankrupting our country. Yeah, she's even worse than Trudeau. Good for Conservatives. Pierre Poilievre will make an effortless win. It doesn't matter. They could bring in any one of those liberals. Carbon tax, Carney. Pierre Poilievre's going to just flatten any of them. I think she's even more hated than her boss. We've got this clip here of Tucker Carlson absolutely destroying the woke left, destroying a woke reporter in Australia, and he just absolutely tears into her.
Hi, Tucker. Thank you so much for your address today. So you talked a little bit about immigration, and in the past you've talked about how white Australians, Americans, Europeans are being replaced by non-white immigrants in what is often referred to as the Great Replacement theory. This is the same...
Have I said that whites are being replaced?
Well...
I don't think I said that.
Well, it's been mentioned on your show 4,000 times. And
really, when did I say that?
On your show.
I said whites are being replaced?
You have said that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I would challenge you to cite that, because I'm pretty sure I haven't said that. I said native-born Americans are being replaced, including blacks.
Native-born Americans.
Native-born Americans. And Americans black Americans have been, African Americans have been in the United States for, in many cases, their families over 400 years. And their concerns are every bit as real and valid and alive to me as the concerns of white people whose families have been there 400 years. So I've never said that whites are being replaced. Not one time. And you can't cite it.
Untrue.
So we just met, but when our relationship starts with a lie, it makes it tough to be friends. So
you've been lying
let's
about
pull
my
that back. I'm happy to explain what I do think.
So.
Well, you actually can't cite it because I didn't say it, and I don't believe it, and I'm telling you that to your face, so why don't you just accept me at face value? My concern is that the people who are born in the country are the main responsibility of its leaders. And as noted earlier, when those leaders shift their concern from the people whose responsibility it is to take care of to people around the world to put their priorities above that of their own citizens, that's immoral. And they are being replaced in my country, people who are born in the United States, and the birth rate tells the whole story. They are not at replacement rate. And so the US population is growing because we're importing people from other countries. And my view is that happy people have children, and a functioning economy allows them to do that. And we don't have that. And so you need to fix the economy and fix the culture and make it so that people who want to have kids can. You don't just go for the quick sugar fix of importing new people. Like, that's my position. And if you think that's racist, that's your problem.
I never called you a racist.
That's such a good take. Like, that's what we got here in Canada. Our birth rate has dropped. Like, I didn't have kids because it's too expensive. And looking at it now, like, I don't want to have kids because it's the cost would just run me into the ground. Like, it would not be possible. And it should be possible, like my parents did, their whole generation. One person could go to work. It was the father. Father could pay for everything, the boat and the second house and all. And maybe not everyone did, but the mom could stay home with the kids and everything would be paid for. And it was a good life. And now you can barely even get by yourself with no kids, let alone having kids. The cost of each kid is like hundreds of thousands of dollars. We shouldn't be bringing in zillions of people just to prop up the GDP a little bit. Canada has more resources per capita than any country on earth. We should be stinking rich. We could be so rich that we could have college tuition funds provided by the government. You know, if they played it right, we had lithium mines and oil and gas and all the minerals. Everything could be coming out of Canada and supplying the world. We would be stinking rich. But our country's run by the biggest idiots ever.
But of course you are suggesting, and I must say one of the reasons people don't like people like you in the media is that you never say exactly what you mean. Your slurs are all by implication, and you're about to tell me the Great Replacement theory is racist or anti-Semitic, whatever. I've said what I've said to you right now like 100 times in public. I hope to, if I live long enough, say it 100 more times. I think it's completely honest and real, not racist or scary. It's factually true. It's not a theory, it's a fact. And the whole point of your question was to be like, you're a scary racist.
Well, I haven't.
And my response is, no, I'm not. Okay, well, how about no more lying in your questions, and then I'll answer it.
Okay, well, this is the same theory, or as you say, idea, that has inspired the New York Buffalo shooting. 11 black Americans were killed. 2 white Americans were killed.
Like,
it's also inspired.
It's not. First of all,
it's inspired one of the worst Australian guns
of all time. How do they get people
to
this stupid in the media? I guess it doesn't pay well. Look, I'm sorry. I've lived among people like you for too long, and I don't mean to call you stupid. Maybe you're just pretending to be, but I'm totally against violence. I'm totally against the war in Ukraine, for example, which doubtless you support. And like all dutiful liberals, support more carnage. I don't. I hate mass actually. Nothing I said, what does it mean to inspire something? My views are not bigoted against any group. They're honest, they're factual. That's not hate, that's reality. And my views derive from my deep concern for Americans, actually. Americans aren't having kids because they can't afford to, and nobody in charge cares. And so that's my position. That doesn't inspire mass shootings. How dare you try to tie me to some lunatic who murdered people? How dare you, actually? And in fact, I mean, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, you know, Hitler wore those shoes. A lot of people are saying that you're like Hitler. Can you explain those shoes? Hitler wore exactly the same shoes, and you're like, I've got nothing to do with Hitler. Well, that's how I feel about your absurd, disingenuous question.
Right, so therefore you support gun control?
What? I thought it couldn't get dumber, but it did. No, I don't support disarming law-abiding people so they can't defend themselves, so the government has a monopoly on violence? I don't think so. First of all, in my country, that's illegal, as you know. But moreover, it should be illegal in every country. A sovereign person has the right to defend himself and his family.
I mean, that's exactly what Trudeau tried to do, right? Take away everyone's pew-pews. And then he knew what he was doing, and he knew that if he could take away those, then he'd have more power over us. He didn't think through his policy, and it's just been sitting in limbo, not going anywhere.
Period. And that said, I'm totally opposed to harming anyone. Anyone. Have you been calling? Are you concerned about the war in Ukraine and the countless innocents being murdered there every single day? I doubt you are. Probably Putin bad. I am. I'm a Christian. I hate violence. I hate mass shootings. I have guns at home, and often on my person when I'm in the United States, I'm proud to say, because I want to defend myself and those I love against violence. That's the point. I'm not perpetrating crimes. I'm not shooting strangers. I'm defending what I love. And if you're against that, I guess I would ask why. Why would you be against that?
Well, so you don't think you harbor any kind of responsibility for these hate crimes?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to be charitable. I'm trying to be charitable. I was like, maybe you're just pretending to be dumb. Now I don't think it's an act.
Tucker, thank you for taking those questions. I'm sure you enjoyed some
Actually, I loved it. I just feel sorry. I mean, because I got here and the country's so unbelievably beautiful and the people are so cheerful and funny and cool and smart. I'm like, your media's got to be better than ours. It can't just be a bunch of castrated robots reading questions from the boss. And then it turns out it's exactly the same, maybe even a tiny bit dumber.
We got the same thing here in Canada. Let's look at the comments on this one. This is an activist, not a reporter. Whoever this reporter is a joke. She came off completely ridiculous. Yeah. I'm genuinely embarrassed by Australians these days. Our country is turned into a dystopian woke nightmare. Yeah, it sounds a lot like what's going on here in Canada. This woman needs to go back to whatever college she went to and ask for a refund. Masterclass on shutting down an activist reporter. Journalist integrity is long gone. So I showed you a video maybe a week ago where there's a whole bunch of Muslims praying in the middle of the street in Toronto. Well, now you're seeing this in Sydney, Australia. This says there's 500 mosques in Australia, but Muslims block traffic and pray. What do you think? I mean, are they paying for all these businesses that don't have car traffic now? This is stupid. This is infrastructure for driving. Just go to a park and do it. Go into a mosque and do it. You don't see Christians praying out in the street. You don't see the Jewish out in the streets. This is getting ridiculous. As a comment said on the last video, this is basically just a show of power. It really just looks like that, a show of power. Look, we're taking you over and there's nothing you can do. Power demonstration. Yeah, the comments here, people are not happy about it. I mean, I don't know what the laws are in Australia, but you can't block major infrastructure in Canada that should be straight up against the law. What if somebody on this street here, because a lot of these buildings, at least, there's some like say in Robson Street in Vancouver, people live above them and they're only 2 or 3 stories. What if someone's having a heart attack and they need an ambulance to come in there? Oh, you guys are too busy praying in the street, so now someone dies because of it. It's stupid. Everything is so corrupt and broken. Speaking of corrupt and broken, we've got Captain Schmuck. And he's asked to define what a woman is.
Anyway, what is a woman was my last question. Are you able to define what a woman is? Oh, I thought so. I thought so.
Trudeau is such a coward. He only answers questions he wants to answer. Like, what a pathetic, small, worthless man.
Anyway. What is a woman was my last question. Are you able to define what a woman
Like, there, you see his face change. He's like, oh yeah, this is not a question I'm going to answer. Here we go.
is? I thought so.
Puts on his fake smile and like, oh, there's some schmuck that wants to shake my hand. Like, dude, what's wrong with you?
I thought so.
Like, seriously, grow a pair. Dang, he ran like a scared rabbit. It's pretty simple. A woman is what left him for a real man. Oh, bring it in a zinger with the surgeon. Sophie and the surgeon. Next clip we've got here is a couple climate protesters running on the field during a Blue Jays game. What you're about to see here is a sad state of affairs. It's like athletics is not their strong suit.
Run fast. Yeah, go, go, go. We're running to the street. He's running here.
Okay, so they get arrested. What do they achieve? I don't understand this. If you can do it, you gotta have like a big flag behind you, and you get the fastest guy you know and let him just run, and nobody can catch him, and you do laps. That's how you do that, not stumble out there. Like, the only thing they have is this Stop Fossil Fuels Now. Does anyone see that out here? No, nobody sees that. Not to mention we've got the carbon tax just screwing us all over. You're not getting any support from this audience. What's the carbon footprint of those shirts? Alrighty, it's time to jump over to my group here and see what memes we got today. Anyone want to build a pirate ship and assemble a crew with 25 to 50 people and just sail around the world visiting places that haven't been seen in centuries while we sing sea shanties? I don't know what that has to do with Justin Trudeau, but it sounds interesting. Yes, when do we leave this godforsaken country? I want to be a pirate. Liberals need a new leader. McKenna is the first person who served in Trudeau's cabinet to call on him to quit. Kind of scary when the weatherman is the closest one to telling the truth on the news these days. When you can't afford something, so you put it back. I think it costs more than $199, maybe $199 billion. The left says corrupt billionaires are the problem. The right says corrupt government is the problem. And I'm just here when you do realize that corrupt billionaires are running the corrupt government, right? There's no doubt the big corporations are the ones who have all the connections, big oil, all the big telecom companies. We have so many monopolies in this country, whether it's through internet, phone, food. Problem here, though, is the liberals are a bunch of liars, and they are doing everything possible to further hurt us versus just further help their rich friends, their rich billionaires. We need to crack down on the rich corporations as well and make sure they pay their fair share, as the liberals like to say. Happy Canada Day. Yeah, that is a great moment. I'll try to find this video for Canada Day where Trudeau gets punched in the face. I think it's like his boxing coach or something just slugs him one. This is all Harper's fault. If he didn't lose that election in 2015, none of this would have happened. That's where we're gonna wrap up this episode. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about Tucker Carlson absolutely ripping that woke reporter. We've got Palestinian protesters going after Trudeau now. Typically the Palestinian protesters only goes after the Jewish community. I guess they're back to heckling Trudeau. So share your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching the end of the video here. Be sure to subscribe. Turn on that notification bell to get notified of all my videos. We'll keep fighting for freedom. I'll see you guys in the next one.